Passing a tow can be dangerous, and in this video we will show you a few close calls that we had, but we will also tell you what we have learned and what some safe practices are and procedures to follow.
Since Freebird's home area is the Tennessee River, we do a lot of boating up and down the Tennessee River. And you know, if you watch our videos, we've also boated up the Mississippi and Illinois into Michigan and then back down to our home port. So we've had a lot of experience passing tows and find it not to be nearly as stressful as we thought it might be. Hope you enjoy seeing the tows that we've passed over the years. If you enjoy this content, please give us a like and subscribe. And in the comments, tell us about any of your experiences passing tows. This was one of our first experiences passing a tow on a narrower river with some twists and turns in it. This was on a fall trip where we had been looking at the fall colors changes. We're headed up the Tennessee River back to Chattanooga, and you can see we were passing the Divine Mercy tow. Maureen usually does the radioing for us and gets the instructions on which side to pass on. In this case, since we're going against the current, it was kind of a difficult pass only because he's traveling at his maximum rate of speed, kicking a huge wake out the back. So not only are you fighting the current of the river, but you're fighting the wake out the back of water getting shot out the back of the tow. So it's best to try to pass as wide as you can, but obviously you need to stay in the channel. And you don't want to plane off to go around them because then you cause a huge wake and they don't appreciate that at all. So it's an interesting slow pass that we did here, and it was safely done.
This is a fairly small tow with just 3 barges. This is pretty typical for the Tennessee River near Chattanooga. The typical barge consists of a towboat and up to 30 barges in a tow, ranging from 600 to 1,200 feet and carrying over 10,000 tons of cargo. Towboat captains have the right of way while operating on the water. What does it mean to pass on the ones or to pass on the twos? This is the language a towboat captain will use when you radio him asking for a pass. And it's different if you are overtaking a tow or you are passing bow to bow. I will usually radio the captain to request a pass. That way Ed can concentrate on keeping us in the channel and dodging logs. In this video we are passing the tow, and when you call the towboat captain he will tell you to either pass on the 1 or the 2. What I always do is reply on the radio confirming. I will say, okay, I will pass you on your port side and my starboard side. Is that correct? Then we will wait for his confirmation. This is an example of us passing bow to bow on the ones, port to port pass.
On the Tennessee River, as you get closer to Kentucky Dam, the tows get larger, and there are staging areas where they'll take several small tows and build much larger ones to go through Kentucky Dam and then out to the Ohio River. Because of all the heavy barge activity through the Kentucky lock, we've never used that lock. Instead, we go over to Lake Barkley and use the Barkley lock and go down the Cumberland River, which we enjoy. There's a rock quarry there, and there's always something interesting going on at the quarry, loading stones on the barges there. It's narrower, but a little more scenic route with less barge activity. Now we're out on the mighty Mississippi going against current in the spring on our way up to Michigan. And you can see this tow has not one but two tugboats pushing it. One of them is really huge. It's just very impressive to see the size of some of these tugboats that it takes to push these barges up against the current. This barge is what is known as a 5x5. It's 5 barges wide and 5 deep. Not the biggest one we saw, but fairly large. Very impressive boat pushing this one southbound down the Mississippi as we're heading north. One of the advantages of going against the current of the Mississippi is that you'll be going very slow. It gives you more time to see all the activity going on in some of the busier areas of the river. As you're headed downriver at the same RPM, you can be going as fast as 14 miles an hour. This is an area on the Mississippi River where there's a lot of barge and tugboat maintenance done. There's a couple dry docks in this clip that show a barge being repaired, probably had a leak, and then also a tugboat. And there was a small tug here, happened to be the name Fast Eddie. They all have names attached to them. And it was moving a single empty barge up to building a larger tow a little ways upriver.
Fast Eddie's going by us. We're in a race with Fast Eddie. You better get faster, Ed. Look at that log that just went by.
The tow we're passing here, with several of the barges loaded with scrap metal, was actually anchored. You'll see the anchor chains going in when we get to the front of it, but it still had a tugboat pushing it against the current to hold it there. You'll also see all the debris we had to dodge. That was actually tougher than getting around the barges.
Stuff in the water. There's an example of oh yeah. at this going by here. This is crazy. We are out on Upper Peoria Lake.
This is one of my favorite clips that Maureen got on the Upper Peoria Lake. It's part of the Illinois River. It's a pretty large body of water. It was a very chilly, windy day. We're going against the current. Even though it's a large body of water, the channel is narrow and you need to stay in it. And this barge was coming the other way. And this was a very exciting time passing this barge. Even though we were safe, it just, the atmosphere and the wind and the noise all made it pretty exciting. Glad we have a video to remember it by.
Passed him 2 hours ago, and they got to this lock, and we've had to wait about that much time for him to come, because they want us to go in the lock with him. So that's part of the boating.
Maureen mentioned earlier that tows have priority over pleasure craft. So at this lock, we had to wait a couple hours until this barge we had passed pulled in. But we lucked out. It doesn't happen often. They actually let us in the lock with this tow, since there was it was not a dangerous cargo that it had on board. If it would have been some type of fuel or propane, we wouldn't have been allowed in.
This is the famous lowest fixed bridge on the Great Loop, 19 feet 6 inches. Goodbye, scary bridge. Told to duck in the hole while he passes.
Look at him scraping that other barge.
Oh crap. He is scraping the other barge. How in the world did he say we were going to pass on the ones?
Well, isn't it? You count 1, 2, or...
Well, I guess we are on the, no, we're on the 2 and he's on the 2. We're on the 2s right now. Yeah. I know you know your front's out. It's close.
Pushing all this water at us.
Yeah, I know.
That's all right. That was weird, man. I had like no control over it.
Is that why the front was going out?
What?
Is that why the front was going out? Because the water pushing at you?
Thank you, you too. When the water was pushing us, yeah, it just like pushed the front out.
Wow. That was a little scary.
It's probably gonna get squirrely when we get to the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hit the bow thruster and it didn't do shit. That's what I knew. I had to back it up.
We should have our fenders out. You did a good job, hon. The Eileen Sea. Eileen Sea. Coming by. No room for us. Illinois River. It's the captain.
We survived, baby.
Yeah, we survived. What mile marker are we at? About 300? I think.
Yeah, 298.
298. Mile marker 298.
Some of our subscribers have asked about using AIS to track and contact tugboats as you travel. Because of our experience with tows on the Tennessee River, we didn't feel it was necessary. We are able to radio them and communicate with them pretty well. There aren't that many tight corners that could get you surprised, and we don't travel at night. That's not to say that AIS might not be helpful. For us, though, Maureen does our navigating, and that helps me keep my eyes on the water, looking for debris and looking for channel markers, etc. And we just felt that the $1,000 spent could be better spent on fuel for us. And we don't travel at night, where I think it would be really advantageous. And maybe out on the East Coast, which we haven't been there yet, where there's freighters coming and going and you might be driving by a port. It may be more helpful in that area. But up and down the rivers that we've done numerous times, we felt really comfortable doing it without AIS.
Thanks for watching. We appreciate our subscribers, so if you haven't subscribed yet, please do.